This is coffee number 5. I'm your host, Lara Schmoisman. Hi, guys. Welcome back to coffee number 5. Today, this is something that it's always on my mind because I live of breathing and eating marketing and thinking about marketing. And, I specialize in beauty, wellness, fashion, and lifestyle. And I always impressed because it's so hard when you're working on a beauty line. And when I work with my clients, people are so different and we all have different skins, different hairs. And that I believe that every brand is unique and every brand is different. But and the same happens with individuals. So I was nominated and then named one of Forbes Next 1000, and I found another honoree out there who was doing something fantastic. And I'm so grateful. I'm honored of having the title of Forbes Next 1000, but I'm more in love with it because I met these incredible people. I think it's fantastic what they did because they really nailed it in finding people that they're doing unique things out there. And I met Allie Egan. So welcome, Allie. And I want to talk a little bit about your brand that is it's Veracity. Veracity. Did I say it right?
Veracity.
Veracity. And self-care brand. And also it's data-driven. They have this little kit that I'm going to let Allie explain it better. So welcome, Allie.
Yeah, well, welcome. It's so nice to meet you, fellow honoree. And I agree, the group of people that they kind of brought together is really fantastic and so different. So love what you do and excited to chat. But yeah, I'm the founder of Veracity, and in short, we're a whole health approach to skincare and wellness by focusing on the root cause of how you look and feel, and that's hormones. It's crazy, like more than 83% of your skin is actually driven by hormones. And we all kind of know this, especially as women, but we don't know which hormones or why or anything like that. And instead we're just, navigating the market based on something like skin type, which isn't really a thing and was just made up 50 years ago for marketing purposes. And so we're almost a year old come the end of this month, and we launched with our skin and health test, which is an at-home spit test. It tests 5 hormones and your pH. And from that, we give you what's actually going on in your body, like what is your estrogen, what is your cortisol, what is your testosterone, and then you get to really understand, like, what does that mean for your skin health? What does that mean for your overall health? And then you get a personalized plan, both from a skincare routine as well as what supplements to take, what things to add to your diet, what exercise and sleep habits you can do to really treat the whole person and get the best results that we're all looking for.
I'm sure there's a story here. You didn't come up with this idea from one day to the next. How did you come up with this program? Because I'm sure they took you a long time to say, oh, let's do this, and then to implement it, because it wasn't just about going and create a line of products.
100%. So yeah, like all things, I think sometimes bad experiences bring good new ideas. So I had worked in beauty. I worked at La Mer, Clinique, Origins. Then I was CEO of a women's apparel brand, Cynthia Rowley. And I never had any intention of just starting another skincare brand or, beauty brand, because there's so many of them, right? But I went through some personal health stuff that led me to the idea for Veracity, and really just like the need to give women more information about themselves and the right information. So in short, I had this skin issue pop up out of nowhere, like happens to so many people. Mm-hmm. I saw my dermatologist. I had these like really, really dry, like unsightly dry skin. And I see my dermatologist and she was like, oh, it's probably just contact dermatitis and something's irritating your skin. Well, fast forward almost 4 years, I was still dealing with the problem, not really getting results, embarrassed about it. And then separately, I was trying to start my family and we weren't having success. And so I ended up in the fertility clinic getting my hormones tested. And from there, I uncovered I had an issue with my thyroid. I have a condition called Hashimoto's, which is a form of
Uh-huh.
hypothyroidism. And that's what led me down the path to uncovering that was not only one of the major drivers in my infertility, but the root cause of my skin problem. And once I was able to get that under control and change what I was using topically, as well as change my diet, I've literally never had the problem again. And it was this realization that I truly believe if I had known 4 years prior what was going on in my skin and my body, like not only would I have been able to get better, like look better so that my, dry skin issue wasn't there, but I also think I would have like been able to get the care earlier that I needed. So I wasn't going through this like epic infertility battle with, ectopic pregnancy, miscarriages, like IVF, the whole thing. And so like I felt so personally passionate about getting women really connecting your personal health with your aesthetic health, which is like why hasn't this been done before, and being able to, like I said, get women the answers they deserve and not have hormones just be this like sort of shameful thing, but really empowering us to understand how we can better optimize our hormones for, again, to feel and look our best, but then also understand what is going on sort of underneath the hood.
This is incredible because you read out there's all these skincare routines, and we're trying to label the skin put them in little boxes. Like, what are you
Totally.
aging? Are you, what do you want your lines to be removed, spot removal? But I mean, we know that what happens in our skin comes from the inside, not from the outside necessarily.
Right. It's crazy. It's like we've made the world of beauty so freaking complicated that no one knows how to navigate the system themselves, and they end up like self-diagnosing or now having to take a quiz. But it's like if you're not looking at the right information, like you're not going to get the right answer. And so that's what we really wanted to say. Like, your skin is your largest organ in your body. It is connected to everything else. If you know what's going on underneath, you can know how to get better results on your skin too.
Well, I love to hear about the run. I think it's fantastic. But also, I want to hear how, I mean, you've been from, of course, being the CEO of an incredible company, and you have an amazing experience, but then having to start from zero. How did you start? What was your first step? And say, okay, I'm doing this.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy. And apologies, my son is making a little appearance. But it took a lot of just bravery, but that was enabled by people around me. I was able to kind of share my idea at a very, very early stage and get feedback from other smart people and say, wait, why? Yeah, that is a good idea. Like, why hasn't that been done? And that enabled me to be like, wow, I think I loved being CEO of Cynthia Raleigh. Don't get me wrong. Super fun to go to fashion shows, build like this global brand. But ultimately, when I thought about it and I was like, I can actually, we say at Veracity, our mission is to get women on a path to better skin and better overall health. And just when I saw that opportunity to do something bigger, I said, I have to do this. And it may be hard, but it's also like, that's what's cool about doing something hard. Like, there's a lot of upside, not just for myself, but for, hopefully women everywhere.
So how did you go about building your team? How did you go about, okay, where do I start?
Yeah, so I had actually made the decision to start the company in January 2020. and I was going to leave my position at Cynthia and start in April 2020. 2020, yeah. And so didn't realize that that would be in the midst of a crazy global pandemic. Yeah. So in a weird way, not being able to go anywhere or do anything gave me a lot of time to start the business. But the first thing I did was literally just start talking to experts, right? Like I have a background in skincare. I have a degree in business and finance and foreign affairs, but I don't have medical experience beyond my own. And so the first thing I did was literally talk to, I think, like over 100 doctors across different practice areas, and ended up building what is now our medical advisory team, which is a dermatologist, an OBGYN, an endocrinologist, a functional medicine doctor, and a nutritionist. And then we ran a pilot study with a bunch of women, testing a bunch of different attributes, from hormones to vitamins to different nutrients, and started to look at like what does actually drive skin health and what can we measure that is going to give us the best ability to give you, personalized recommendations that are going to make a clinical difference in what you see and feel.
So people will go and buy this test. How buy it online? How do they apply it?
How do they apply
the test? How do you do the test? You need to do it in a lab, or you can do it at home?
Oh, you can do it at home. It's a super easy spit test. It takes, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. You just spit in a tube and you get a prepaid mailer, and you just mail it back to us. And within usually about 7 to 10 days, you get your results back. And you can log in and you get to see your actual levels for all of your hormones, and then get that personalized routine. And so it's super easy. And that's what the magic is. It shouldn't be this like overly clinical, scary experience. Like, we're about, what I say is optimizing health, not diet. There's no disease you're going to get diagnosed with or anything like that. So it's really easy and kind of fun.
Let me ask you a question. So you decided to go that because you had to do two things. In one hand, you had to create all the testing with the labs, all the system to do this, then create the platform for people to check it. And on top of that, then you had to create a line of products.
Yeah, no, we basically have three different businesses rolled up in one. So it's crazy. And my team maybe sometimes thinks that I'm insane. But I really think it's the magic of having all those things together, which makes for, a better product and experience. Similar to how I'm sure when Peloton was starting, people thought they were insane for how you're going to build a physical bike and do the software behind live classes and hire talent and deal with, celebrity kind of trainer people. But it's like those three things together is what makes this like amazing product. And I think it's the same thing for us, because the diagnostic is great. But if you get a diagnostic and you have no way to interpret what it means or then what to do about it, it's like, so what? And so by us using the diagnostic, but then combining it with the so what to do about it, which is both the physical product, so like how do I get results, as well as the so what to do about it, like from a content perspective and understanding like how does this affect my my skin health and overall health. In other areas, like I said, diet, exercise, sleep, all these other things, like that is what makes this special sauce of like really thinking about your skin health from a whole health perspective.
There is now a new trend about what we call medical grade craves. And how are you different than medical grade creams? Or products in general? Yeah,
first and foremost, so we design our products with our medical advisory team as well as a PhD in hormonal health. And so two things that enabled us to, and all of our products are completely proprietary, like in actually formulated by us, which, the dirty secret in skincare and beauty in general is that people don't realize that like there's a lot of the same product that just has, different labels for each different brand. Right. But the two things that enable us to do is actually design products to be hormonally targeted. So treating the source of hormonal imbalance on the skin, and then hormonally safe. So instead of just this blanket term of clean beauty, we said, okay, your body has an amazing ability to heal itself. So the worst thing you can do is get in that way of it by putting things on your face that are disrupting your hormones. So all of our products are free of endocrine disruptors, both in the formula as well as in the packaging. So everything is plastic free, which is huge because plastic is the number one hormone disruptor.
So now you have a brand, you have a product, you have a test. How do you educate people about something different, something new?
Yeah. Well, we're actually, I feel like, still learning so much about this. I mean, that's part of the both super exciting thing and then also really exhausting thing of being in an early stage company with a product that doesn't have a playbook written about it, right? There's not like hey, if you want to sell a new brand of water, this is how you do it, right? You launch at a concert or whatever, and you grow from there, kind of thing. And so we've learned a ton about how you connect with people, how you resonate with what they're experiencing in their day-to-day, both skin and hormonal journey. And then how do you explain a totally new process? Like you just asked me, like, how does it work? Do I have to go to a lab? Do I have to do all these things? And so we've tried to be as transparent and as concise as possible. And it's also, for us at this stage, it's about really connecting with women who've been there in a way, shape, or form. And once they go through the experience of taking our tests and seeing the results, they become our biggest advocates. And so we let them help us tell the story as well.
That's amazing. If you had to do it all over again, and tell us that story, something that you did that you said, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. But you learned so much from that it would have saved you so much time if you knew that.
Oh my goodness, that is such a hard question. And I'm sure you would say something similar with like entrepreneurs. You don't want to beat yourself up because you're sort of learning all these things as you go along, and you do the best you can. I think one thing I would say is that no one actually has it figured out, whether they're a founder of their own company or the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. You're all just trying to make the best decisions with the information that you have. I think one of the really challenging things with starting the company when we did was just starting in COVID and making physical products and not being able to go, meet all of our manufacturers and suppliers in the same way that you could have in the past. And so we spent a ton of time just really building those relationships virtually and through, friend of friend and that kind of thing. And I guess what I would always say is the more time you can spend getting to know people, even, outside business partners and how they work and how best to work with them is really key to being able to do awesome things and do them on the timeline that you want to.
That's amazing. Allie, thank you so much for having coffee with me today. I really enjoy this talk a lot and to learn about the products. And you guys, what are you waiting for? Go get your kit, get your lab done. I mean, it's how much it costs to get the test.
It's $149, and then you get $25 credit to your skincare routine as well.
Amazing. So it will cost you less than gas to go into the doctor almost. So just
yes, exactly.
And it saves you the trip. So thank you so much for being here today. And to you guys, I will see you next week with more coffee number 5. It was so good to have you here today. See you next time. Catch you on the flip side. Ciao, ciao.